Bring Kempire. Look, bring Kempire out. Bring Kempire out. Bring Kempire out. Bring Kempire out. Hey y'all, what's going on? Happy Friday. I thought yesterday was Friday. I don't know why I thought that. But randomly, I thought it was Friday. I was like, is it Friday? And I was like, no, it's not Friday. I have Pilates today at noon. Yes. I'm going to post some videos and some photos for my Pilates session so you guys can see some of the things that they have me doing. Legs all akimbo and in the air. Excuse me.
How you doing?
Honestly. Stay tuned. Stay tuned, guys. This is our weekly just Hot Topics Live because I will talk about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, but I will also be talking about some other Housewives news, including Nene Leakes' return to Bravo. I mean, at this particular point, it shouldn't be a big surprise, but we will go through it. I also want to talk about Jen Shah. I want to talk about Bronwyn Newport and her divorce. There's a lot of things to get into. But as always, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. Be sure to share the video. Be sure to subscribe. It is a subscribers only live chat. Shout out to our King Scar. Shout out to our channel members. Shout out to our new channel members. Thank you, Kendra, for gifting 5 Kempire memberships. Thank you. We appreciate your support. Be sure to thank Kendra in the chat, guys. If you were just gifted a membership. Lauren says, Kempire. Yes. Okay, enough of that. Where do I even begin? Should I start with Real Housewives of Beverly Hills just to get it over with? Okay, we won't start there. Let's talk about Jen Shah. So you may have seen it on December 10th, Jen Shah was released from prison after serving like 2.5 years of her sentence of 6 years. Yeah. Okay. But Andy Cohen, for those that keep asking whether or not she's going to return to Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Andy Cohen has said multiple times and even recently that there is no room for Jen Shah to return. I don't know what exactly happened between Andy Cohen, Jen Shah, and the network. I can only speculate based off of how things ended when she left and her doing an interview with a YouTuber versus doing the one-on-one, very much like what you see Karen doing this season with Andy. I don't know if that really was the nail in the coffin. I feel like more had to happen. Was it her crashing BravoCon when it was here in New York City? Yes, come on, you remember. So I don't know. I don't know which one of those things, if it was she was just a nightmare behind the scenes, or was she saying and doing things behind the scenes, or was it the fact that one of her victims ended up unaliving themselves because of the extreme debt he was in, a World War II vet. So it could be that. And I know you're thinking, well, we've had other people go to jail, but have we had people go to jail that could be connected to someone unaliving themselves? No. So that might be the actual nail in the coffin. I don't know. But that hasn't stopped every news outlet, every blogger from reporting that Jen Shah, inmate Shah, is out and about. I did see an emotional return when her family met with her in the airport, and they were just so excited to see her. Even one of her, I think it was her aunt, that we've seen on Salt Lake City. So they were all there embracing her, hugging her, just so happy to see her. And look, that's their family member. So I understand the emotion of not seeing her for so long. But Jen Shah is back in the headlines because apparently Jen Shah accused the prison warden of unconstitutionally keeping her locked up, according to her lawsuit. Us Weekly has the exclusive. They said the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City star Jen Shah filed a lawsuit against a Texas warden prior to her release from prison. Us Weekly can exclusively report. On August 18th, Jen Shah sued the warden at FPC Bryan in Texas, a minimum security federal prison that has Ghislaine Maxwell there. Yeah, they moved her from maximum security to this minimum security federal prison. Did you guys see the new photos with Epstein and all the people? Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, Bill Gates, all these folks. So she claimed that prison officials were improperly calculating her release date. Shah demanded that she be let out on August 6th. The audacity, lady, you were sentenced to 6 years. She has had a spotless disciplinary record. Shah's filing alleged as she demanded to be released to community confinement. Shah said officials went to her home in Salt Lake City on March 19th to review the property before she was released. In her petition, Shah claimed that she was suffering severe prejudice and loss of liberty while being unconstitutionally confined beyond her scheduled release date. Here's the thing. I feel like you should be able to reduce your sentence for good behavior, but this feels extreme. How do you go from a 6-year sentence to now serving two years in how many months? I just feel like you should have to serve a little bit more. Okay? But all right. Nia says that Kempire, Jen is probably so mad that Angie is loved. Probably. All right. In her petition, Shah claimed that she was suffering severe prejudice and loss of liberty. Really? While being unconstitutionally confined beyond her scheduled release date. It's the audacity for me when you know what she's been accused of and convicted of. Shah revealed that she completed the residential drug abuse program while behind bars, which earned her a 12-month reduction to her sentence. The program includes 9 months of highly regimented programming, including daily treatment groups, individual counseling, written assignments, behavioral contracts, and strict compliance with program rules. Shah said that she graduated on August 5th. In her petition, Shah said that they tried to rescind the credit, but she demanded that it be applied to her sentence. In response, the warden demanded that Shah's petition be dismissed. The official said that Shah was set to be released in August of 2026 and argued her lawsuit had no legal standing. On October 3rd, Shah responded to the warden in court. She said that she remained in custody due to the prison's inconsistent administration of its own policies. The judge had yet to decide before Shah was released from the Texas prison on Wednesday, December 10th. I mean, at this particular point, it's kind of moot because she's already out. Shah's attorney, Candace Robinson, tells us weekly that Jen successfully completed the residential drug abuse program, RDAP, in August of 2025, and consistent with longstanding BOP policy and practice, should have been released shortly thereafter. Unfortunately, the Bureau of Prisons has a well-documented history of failing to release inmates in a timely manner, even after they complete qualifying programming that entitles them to earlier release consideration. Honestly, they should contact the victims. How do you feel about her being released early? All of that should be decided by a judge. Yes, she's completed these programs. However, what do the victims believe? Because she was sentenced to 60 plus years. Jen's filing was not about avoiding responsibility. It was about ensuring that the BOP followed its own rules and honored the benefits tied to program completion. This is not an isolated issue and continues to affect incarcerated individuals across the country who have done exactly what the system asked of them, Robinson added. At this stage, Jen is now moving forward in the next phase of her sentence, which is pre-release custody, and remains focused on a successful and compliant transition. A rep for the prison tells us they, quote, do not comment on pending litigation, matters that are subject of legal proceedings or ongoing investigations. We can confirm that Jennifer Shah transferred on December 10th, 2025 from the federal prison camp, FPC, Bryan, to community confinement overseen by the Bureau of Prisons, BOP, Phoenix Residential Reentry Management, RRM, office, the rep added. Community confinement means the inmate is either home confinement or residential reentry center, RRC, or halfway house. I think she's at home. I don't know if anyone's confirmed that. The rep told us that Shah's projected release date from community confinement is August 30th, 2026. So she couldn't film and do anything like that anyway, right? All right. All right. The Bravo star was arrested, as you know, on March 2021 over allegations that she scammed people in a telemarketing fraud scheme. She was sentenced to 78 months in prison in order to forfeit $6.5 million. Shah checked into prison in February of 2023. She was released 4 years earlier than the initially expected. 4 years earlier. As a part of her sentence, Shah was ordered to participate in an outpatient mental health and treatment program approved by her probation officer. You shall make an installment payments towards your restitution in the amount of 15% of your gross income, the order stated. In addition, Shah will have to comply with any search of her home by officials. Shah is also barred from incurring new credit cards or opening new lines of credit without getting approval from her probation officer. As us previously reported, Shah expressed remorse during her sentencing on January 6, 2023. Lord. She says, "I am sorry. My actions have hurt innocent people," Shah said. "I want to apologize by saying I am doing all that I can do to earn the funds to pay restitution." Remember, she only decided to take this sort of plea deal up until right before she was about to go to trial. Literally, like, I think it might have been hours, if not a day or two. Following the news of her December release, Shah's manager, Chris Giovanni, released a statement. "Everyone's very grateful for the BOP's decision, especially because it means Jen will be able to reunite with her family for the holidays," Giovanni said. "It's a gift she doesn't take for granted." Shah should not be expected to be appearing on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, as Andy Cohen has made it clear he has no interest in her returning to the reality show post-prison. Yeah, so Jen Shah was fighting before she was released, fighting because she feels as if the calculations of her release date were miscalculated and she should have been released a lot earlier. Okay. All right. That's your update on Jen Shah. Since we're talking about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, I guess it's only normal for us to talk about Bronwyn Newport. Bronwyn Newport is getting a divorce. First of all, I already heard some of the rumors I saw on X. I heard some of the rumors that she had made the announcement that she was separated from the Todd father during the reunion. Then Page Six yesterday came out with a story confirming from multiple sources that Bronwyn Newport and the Todd father are separated. Okay. So let me give you the update, because now it's being confirmed by People Magazine. I always tell you People Magazine is the Bravo NBC Universal outlet. You see all their exclusives come through them. So just always keep that in mind. It's important to keep in mind, especially for other stories. So Real Housewives of Salt Lake City star Bronwyn Newport and her husband Todd Bradley, the Todd father, have split after 9 years of marriage. A representative for Bronwyn, who's 40, confirms to People exclusively that after thoughtful consideration, Bronwyn Newport and Todd Bradley have separated. This was a mutual decision made with care and respect for one another, says Bronwyn's representative. They asked for privacy during this time. The current season 6 of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City has covered the ups and downs of Bronwyn's marriage to Todd, who's 65. "The real truth is that my relationship is just as hard as everybody else's in its own ways, and has had its very low lows that were very hard for me," she said in a confessional. "This is a side of me that these ladies haven't seen yet. I haven't yet seen, but I want them to understand that I believe the same way that they all do," she continued. "I cry about things, and that side of me is there if they're open to it. When the ladies inquired about Todd's reaction to Bronwyn discovering his alleged infidelity, she explained that the dynamic of their marriage is complicated. "He said that it's a fatal flaw of his," she said. "What's good for him in business is that he's never satisfied, and it's hard to turn that off. When you come home, you're always looking." So that was the first time that she talked about the infidelity that was in their marriage, her first season. But who said last season, it was me, who said in their last season that I believe that Bronwyn came on this show to get her divorce, to set herself up so that she had her own money coming in, even though this Bravo check is not a big check, especially in 2025. The Bravo check is not a big check, and she's a newbie, okay? So here's the thing. Based on what Bronwyn said in a recent podcast, the only reason why she even talked about the Todd father on the plane, another incident where people caught him looking through photos, because when they were talking about an incident on the plane, she thought that they were talking about Todd. So that was the only reason why she even admitted it. And then she started backtracking, as you saw in these last couple of episodes of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. She started backtracking that, oh, everything is good, but you or like you weren't wearing your ring, and then you were saying that things were not great and blah blah blah. And then she was just like, I don't always wear my ring. She said that recently in a recent interview. So I don't know what it is. I don't know if this is her plot and plan for a divorce or her plot and plan for a storyline for next season. I believe it's a plot and plan for an actual divorce, but I already told you that from last season. I even said it this season. So I am not completely shocked that Page Six came out with their exclusive yesterday that Bronwyn and the Todd father are separating after 9 years of marriage. Also, keep in mind there is no prenup. There is no prenup. Doesn't automatically mean she's going to get all of his money, y'all. Doesn't automatically mean that at all. Okay. So it will be interesting to see how it all turns out. I mean, God only knows what Bronwyn has had to deal with, between the kissing and the passing of gas all the time. Who knows? Okay. All right. Nora says she got a wealthy man, married him. He helped her raise her daughter, you mean. And daughter is grown, and now she's bouncing. That's it. Wait, that's how it's supposed to be done now? That's a plan? Yeah. Yeah. And also helped her when her father was very ill and has now passed away. Now her mother also has a plan to sort of like move out, and she also doesn't plan to be living with the Todd father. I wouldn't be surprised that she ends up getting a house, some sort of monthly income, or some big settlement, and then he'll be done with it. Maybe. Fashion Avenue says, I have Pilates tomorrow, not looking forward to it. I never really look forward to Pilates, but then when I'm in it, I'm just like, okay, I don't enjoy Pilates, but when I'm in it, I'm like, okay, here we go. Let's just do it. When I'm doing it, I'm like, oh, this is tough. And it never gets easy. My first instructor told me that on the first day, and I was like, that's not a way to have me keep doing it. But she was like, it never gets easy. I was like, all right, and it hasn't. It has not gotten easier. But I feel like the fittest I've ever been instead of doing weights. And I mean, I still do weights and whatnot. Matter of fact, I'm going to do some arms. Look, I'm going to do some arms today. Because, you got to tone up too. I mean, Pilates is good for toning too. All right. Enough about me and my Pilates journey. Okay. Bronwyn got her citizenship. Oh, did she get her citizenship too? Hold on. Wait a minute. Because she's married to an American. Is that what? Damn, Bronwyn, you really are a Virgo. I told you this was a plot and a plan. She got wealth. She got no prenup. She raised her daughter. Okay, she got her parents taken care of. She got her citizenship. She won. She won. Right? She won. I mean, we'll have to wait to see how this divorce goes. But here we are. Okay. Oh, not hot Pilates. I couldn't do hot Pilates. The same way I can't do hot yoga. Angel says hot Pilates has changed my core for life. I'm not doing hot Pilates. I'll do my regular Pilates. Hot Pilates, no. I don't want to pass out. Okay. Sometimes I feel like I want to pass out just from doing the regular Pilates with my legs akimbo in the air, doing all kinds of stuff. All right. Yesterday I was doing planks on the reformer. Lord. And then my instructor I have on Fridays, she always does something with my hips. But I said, okay, all the stuff that you're killing my hips with, is this going to mean when I'm 90 something years old, my hips are going to be the hips of a 40-year-old? She says yes. All right, then worth it. Diana says, okay, Virgo. Right? But I called it. I'm not Miss Cleo, but I'm actually probably better than Miss Cleo because Miss Cleo really wasn't. All right. May she rest in peace. All right. K-Baby says, that's how us Virgos do. And honestly, I am not mad at it. Please understand when I say that, I'm not mad at it. Because if I need a plot and a plan, I am going to call a Virgo. All right? She got her citizenship. She's got no prenup. She's got a new job that gives her fame and attention and a paycheck. Bronwyn, tell me of your ways. Tell me of your ways. Kendra says, Kempire, I know she said that there was no prenup, but do we know that there is no post-up as well? We don't know. We don't know. That's why I'm saying we don't know how this is going to turn out. And just because there's no prenup doesn't mean that she's automatically going to get half of everything. Okay? So we will have to wait and see. Right? Krista says she got her citizenship. She no longer needs Todd. She won. I can't be mad at it. But are you guys going to feel the same way about Todd Tucker?
Poor baby.
Are y'all gonna feel the same way about Todd Tucker if he gets his stuff? Does it turn the other way? Here's the difference, though. Here's the difference that people don't talk about, because I see the men in the comment section like, "Oh, y'all feel this way about women, but y'all don't feel this way about when men." Well, men can go on. First of all, you may already make more than women in the field. You also don't carry the children. You're also not set back from carrying children and taking time off from work. That doesn't happen to men. Okay? Todd was still able to work. Okay? She carried him. All right? There is a difference that people don't talk about that element. I was like, well, no, when women have to, be pregnant, take care of the children, take time off from work, they already do not make a lot, even if they didn't take time off from work. So now they've taken years off, and now they're trying to get back into the work, the work environment. And now they're set back already. So they're set back, and they're a woman, they're not going to get paid the same amount. And then in entertainment, and you're a black woman in entertainment trying to be an actor. Taraji already told you this during the Color Purple, okay? So, excuse me, men. It's different. It's different. Todd, get a job. Get a job, Todd. He's got a job, okay? He's got a job. All right. All right, so anything else that we want to talk about in regards to Bronwyn? She's getting a divorce after 9 years. She won. She won. I'm not mad about it, okay? Because let's be real. When she met Todd, the Todd father, when she met him, she was working. Now she hasn't been working. If she can prove that he told her not to work anymore, he's taken her off the job market. What she could have made working, wasn't she in finance? She could be an executive right now, making 6 figures. You know what I mean? So, was she an opportunist, or was she just smart? I know I say this now. Please understand, when I get married, there will be a prenup. Okay? There will be a prenup. Oh, Anna says, hi, Kempire. I will not feel the same for Todd Burris. Not Todd Burris. You be Todd Tucker. Come on. Let's not do that to the poor man. All right? Because I do feel like Todd also helped Candy in a lot of ways as a fellow Taurus. I also understand how having a Leo man in your life could push you to do things that you probably wouldn't have done before. We've talked about this before. S. Sweeney, hold on. S. Sweeney says, Todd deserves something. He was there for 11 years, but not everything, sweetie. Candy had her things before Todd and should be allowed to keep that. They will figure it out. Yeah, I definitely think they'll figure it out. I definitely think they should honor the prenup, which says exactly what S. Sweeney just said, that everything that she had before is hers, including that house, and everything that they built together. She said it on their wedding show. If you missed the update that I gave you guys this week, be sure to check that out. All right. Before we get into the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, I will do timestamps after this, guys. Where's Mama Ali when you need her? She would do my timestamps for me. Shamea Morton. Shamea Morton is suing an Atlanta doctor that has worked with people like Tamar Braxton, Candy. She's suing them about some sort of botched work. According to Yahoo.com, the reality TV personality claims a cosmetic procedure caused burns, blistering, and permanent scarring, sparking a medical malpractice lawsuit. I will show you the picture. Ew, damn. Why do you put a chemical peel on your back? I guess you could put a chemical peel on a bunch of anything. Why did my esthetician send me this article too? And I said to my esthetician, you ever do anything like that to me, I'm suing. Mind you, this is a doctor, not even an esthetician. So when reality TV drama moves off screen, the Real Housewives of Atlanta star Shamea Morton is taking her fight from the reunion stage to the courtroom, filing a medical malpractice lawsuit over a cosmetic procedure that she says went horribly wrong. According to court docs, Morton alleges that Dr. Jing Wong Harris, her company Pretty Faces Atlanta, and other defendants negligently burned her during a chemical peel performed on March 13th, 2024. The fallout, Morton claims, has left her with extensive permanent scarring on her back and arms, according to Us Weekly. Ooh, not permanent scarring. The lawsuit, filed on October 31st by Morton and her husband, Gerald Mwangi, argues that Morton should never have undergone the chemical peel due to her diagnosis of tinea versicolor, a fungal skin condition. Instead, she says that she should have been referred to a dermatologist. Even without the condition, Morton claims that the procedure was completely inappropriate for African American skin. Oh. Particularly without proper preparation, pigment correction, or less aggressive treatments. Morton alleges that a third-party provider performed the peel unsupervised. A third-party provider? Resulting in second-degree burns, blistering, and permanent scarring. So that's what you're seeing here on Shamea's back. Oh my gosh. Kendra, I hate to say this, but I agree. Do your research, people. People in Atlanta stay scamming with stuff like that. Well, don't you see that man that did the veneers? He's been charged with RICO. But there are some former clients of his. Mind you, he's not a dentist. He was doing dental work, and he's not a dentist. But some people that were former clients, they're like, he did a damn good job. No. But now he's faking RICO charges, practicing without being an actual dentist. But they said he did a good job. I'm never going to. I just don't trust it. I'm sorry, Atlanta. There's way too much of that I'm hearing going down there. Okay? All right. So Morton alleges that the third-party provider performed the peel unsupervised, resulting in second-degree burns, blistering, and permanent scarring. The suit describes a harrowing scene. Morton reportedly cried in pain and screamed so loudly that Dr. Harris entered the room. When Morton reported her pain, Harris allegedly told her that she was being dramatic. Oh, hell no! Only applying an unknown solution after seeing Morton in tears. Morton's lawyer, Darren M. Tobin, called the incident unacceptable and inexcusable and confirmed that the lawsuit seeks full justice under the law. Morton has been a fixture on The Real Housewives of Atlanta Season 5, advancing from guest appearances to a main cast member by Season 16. Damn. When they put it like that. The season included notable storylines showing tension with longtime friend Portia Williams, and earlier this season, Morton posted they are so shady for this. Posted a 41-minute YouTube apology to her castmates in a heartfelt effort to mend relationships. Why do they have to add that part? I read it though. All right. So now Morton's fight moves beyond reality TV drama into real-life legal action. A battle, she says, is about justice, her health, and holding those responsible accountable. From reunion room tears to courtroom filings, Shamea Morton is proving some battles can't be scripted. I wonder if she'll be talking about this during the season as well. I feel for her though, because you just never know. You never know when you're going for procedures like that if the place that you're going to is reputable. But like I said to you before, I feel like there are other famous people that go to this same doctor. All right, so Shamea is suing for a terrible, terrible chemical bill. I feel for her because look, this is your skin. And as a woman, it's a little bit different because, look, as a man, if I do something to my back like that, and men don't normally show their backs. But women, you could see in her dress here, like her back could be shown, and now she can't really show her back without probably putting some sort of makeup over it for the scarring. She said she has permanent scarring. Oh, hell no. Hell to the no. All right. Before we get to the Nene of it all, and before we get to that announcement, I do want to talk about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, okay? Just because Nene's more important to talk about. And I will be dropping a calling for you guys to share your thoughts. So I'm not going to go through every single scene. I just want to talk about the episode because Kyle Richards says, I'm coming now. I want the world to know. Got to let it show. Ooh. I'm coming now. I want the... Okay, fine. So the episode, okay. At least they didn't talk about Garcelle. At least they did not talk about Garcelle. I was excited that they did not mention Garcelle, at least in this episode. But I have to say this about Sutton. Sutton, I see right through you. Because Sutton all of a sudden now wants to be friendly with everyone. She's like, what's her name? Eric and I have had issues over the years, but I feel like we're working on it. And then when she talks about Dorit, she's sort of like, I know I was hard on Dorit, but I can see what she's going through now. You are such a liar. We are not falling for it. I feel like everyone's playing nice. I think the executives, I'm sure Andy Cohen, all said to the cast, Sutton's going to have a rough season without Garcelle. I need you guys to go easy on her. You can still hold her accountable, but go easy on her. And that's what they're doing. That's why we had that scene with Sutton and Erica, where she's like, Erica and I, we've bumped our heads, but we had some good moments as well. We've had some good moments as well. Really? So they're sitting there getting facials together, and this is a perfect opportunity for Erica to talk about Thomas. Tom has been sentenced to jail, and Sutton's just like, he's gonna die in there. Look, he's gonna die in there because he's old. Okay, he's old. All right. So this is an opportunity for Erica to give us that same old song and dance, and she's just like, I really just hope that he dies before going in there. And she's like, we're never going to have any sort of closure. No, you're not. Yeah, you're not. You're not gonna have any sort of closure. Hold on, I gotta reopen my There we go. You're never gonna have any sort of closure. And you know what? Even when he's dead and gone, you're going to be dealing with all of the things that he did. And I think that's your karma, because although you like to pretend like you were the doting wife and you really had no idea what was going on, and I'm not saying that you had to know everything that was going on, but I believe you're not the doting wife. You're not one of these other wives on Beverly Hills, Erica. You're not, okay? But I do find it interesting. That's the role she is trying to lean into. And what you guys are seeing, because some of you are saying that this season is lackluster and the ratings are showing it. Andy came out, I haven't looked at the ratings in such a long time. We look at everything. We look at the week's totals. We look at, social media, Peacock numbers, so we don't just look at the live ratings. Okay, but for me, the live ratings do give us an indication on how the season's going. And they've had a series low for their premiere episode. So we will always talk about it. Because at the end of the day, even if the show isn't successful, Bravo can decide whether or not they're going to give it another go with the show and keep pushing forward. So it doesn't matter. They pick and choose what in their budget what they would like to keep. Okay, we saw that with Shots of Sunset. Shots of Sunset ratings are way better than some of the other shows, and they put that on pause. Family Karma, another show, very good ratings in comparison to some of these other shows. And Ms. Bell says, you sound like my old supervisor. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so fine. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. At the top of the episode, I do want to talk about this scene because only thing that I want to talk about, I do see that a lot of people loved that Rachel Zoe came back, according to y'all, swinging for the premiere episode. And I told y'all sort of like, I think she was okay. I found her son to be actually very enjoyable to watch. I was really surprised by his old soul. This episode, I was like, okay, all right. I'm not saying that Rachel Zoe is not bringing it. It's too early. It's only episode 2. But you know who I immediately liked in this episode? Amanda. Amanda seems like she is nobody's pushover. I like her. I will get back to her in a second. What was your initial reaction to Amanda? I was like, oh, this woman has potential. And not everyone can give you that in their first few moments. But I was like, wait a minute. I like the way that she carries herself. I like that she's not just some sort of doting wife. She has her own. She also bought Kyle's Beverly Hills home, and people were mad at her. TBK says Amanda seems cool. Chris? Yeah, Chris says, aka WWE Boy says, Amanda brought it. I really was impressed. I mean, it's too early to say I love her, but I was like, okay. But at the top of the episode, Bozoma St. John goes over Rachel Zoe's home. And one thing that I noticed about Boz, and this is not to beat a dead horse with Boz, because I already know some of you are like, oh, you just don't like Boz. But this is a fact. Boz, which for me was uncomfortable. I never like it when I feel like someone's always over talking you or always like butting in. So Rachel's trying to open up to her about her divorce and how it didn't get a lot of press that her husband, after they separated, was immediately photographed with his girlfriend. And she's like, what are you doing? Are you okay? Are you okay? She said, I was like, wait a second, Rachel, don't you try and come out with some merch. I'm going to sue you. Are you okay? Are you unwell? She said. Okay. But when she's trying to talk, I noticed that Boz, and please pay attention. Now that I'm pointing it out to you, pay attention, because I saw it multiple times in this episode. So I saw it in this conversation with Rachel Zoe. So Rachel's talking like, oh yeah, he was photographed with Rachel. You do a lot of the like too stuff. Like, you're a grown woman. I don't know why we were saying like, and the vocal fry of it all. Maybe it's a Hollywood thing. And she's talking and she's trying to open up and she's trying to explain. And Boz is like, yes. Damn. It's one thing to show that you're engaged in a conversation. You can do that without making sounds. You can do that by nodding your head, holding their hand, adding a yeah here and there. But it's so much. It was so much to the point that I was like, okay, Boz, be quiet. I'm trying to, for me, it was distracting watching the episode as I'm trying to hear Rachel Zoe tell her story. You know what I mean? So Rachel's trying to tell her story, talk about her perspective on an ex being photographed with their new, girlfriend, like PK and Mauricio. And Boz is just sitting there like, yes, damn. I'm like,
that's really upsetting to me, so I'd appreciate it if you didn't say that.
I'm like, okay, Boz, we get it. You're engaged in the conversation. You're paying attention. But it was giving way too much. Like, yes, yep. It's like she felt like she had to have something every minute. I was like, please stop. Please stop it. And like, damn. I'm like, wait. I was like, wait a minute. That's too much. It's a little too much. Okay. Like, yes. Oh, all right. All right. Fine. It's just something that I noticed, okay? I noticed it a little bit last season, but I really noticed it in this episode, okay? Yusuf, hey, Yusuf Foodie. Thank you for being a beverage. I like you. I like hearing you go off on the Beverly Hills ladies. Nene, sad face. We haven't talked about Nene yet, guys. We will get to Nene in just a second, all right? So I noticed that in that scene. We also have a scene with Kyle and Mauricio. So Mauricio moved from the apartment to this Hollywood Hills home. And Kyle is a little bothered by that because she's like, we had a conversation that once the lease is up on the apartment, that they would have a conversation, and they ended up not having a conversation, and he moved into this Hollywood Hills home. So now he's alone in this big house. So she feels away. She comes over. She brings him towels and things like that, checks in on him. And she talks about how he's been photographed with everyone and how the girls have reacted to it. And he's like, I see that you're dating and everyone sees that you're dating. And he's like, are you dating? And she's like, no, but I'm single. And he's like, yeah, you're single. So I feel like this episode was gearing us up for her to tell us that she was dating Morgan. Scissoring. We gonna be scissoring. Okay. Yeah, OMG Steph says Mauricio's ready to move on. Well, during the after show, Kyle says that she also feels that Mauricio being in that big house, and part of the reason why he goes out a lot is because he doesn't want to be in that big house by himself, because he's so used to having all his girls around him, his wife, and things like that. Mauricio, once he's divorced, will get remarried. I definitely believe that he will get remarried, or at least be in a relationship. That happens a lot with men. Men can't stay single. I feel like for women, it takes them a lot longer to move on. I did a whole psychology course on this in college in regards to, I think it was the psychology of death. It was more about, like, you know, when a partner dies, how men usually get remarried like a year later, if not sooner. So, and women sometimes can end up being single for years or till the day they die. But apparently that wasn't Kyle's story. But fine. Then we have a scene with Sutton and Erica. We already talked about that, so I'm not going to rehash it. They talk. It's Sutton trying to paint a different image of herself that she sees. She really sees. I see where you know, the struggle that Dorit could be going through now. All of a sudden, you see the struggle that Dorit could be going through now. You don't have the same energy, Sutton, because Garcelle is not there. If Garcelle was still, and I'm not blaming Garcelle. You felt like you had a strong personality that had your back. And now that you don't, and all these girls would gang up on you, you're whimpering this season. You are a punk. P-O-N-K. You are a punk. And you felt empowered by having Garcelle there. But that's not Garcelle's fault. That's not Garcelle's fault. So then they also talk about Tom possibly going to jail. Erica not having any resolution with Tom because he's senile. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Okay. Excuse me. The reality of the situation here is that Tom's victims that he stole money from that will probably struggle because of their own medical needs, they will, because they're younger than Tom, will struggle because they have not been able to recoup the money that he stole from them. Excuse me if I do not feel sorry for Tom Girardi, who's going to spend the last couple of days in his life of his life in jail. Excuse me if I don't feel bad. Look, for those listening to the podcast, I'm shrugging my shoulders. Sorry, Erica. You're going to have to deal with the aftermath of his situation. But I do believe Tom has money hidden somewhere. And you're probably getting some of that money under the table. Allegedly. All right? Allegedly. Jesse says, Erica doesn't care about Tom. Jamie, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships, the Kempire memberships. Thank you, Jamie. If you got gifted a membership, be sure to thank Jamie as well. And thank you for being a member, Jamie. Don't forget, even if you aren't gifted a membership, you can become a member at teamkempire.com/join. Dame MC Gold. Okay, name. Just another here Virgo saying hi. We have a lot of Virgos that follow the channel. We do. We really, really do. But I get it. I'm a Taurus. You guys see a little bit of me and you. We're all earth signs. Alejandro, real magic. Thank you so much for the super chat. Alejandro says, Andy's all-night poppers impersonation spot on. Not all-night poppers. Some of y'all even know what poppers are. Explain it to them, Alejandro. I don't know why people do poppers in the general. It's an inhalant that people sniffed in order to make sex easier and more enjoyable. I don't know why people do that, because you don't know what it's going to do to your brain. But that's just me. I'm not going to judge, but I'm just like, I'm judging. I never got it. I've been offered. I'm like, no, I'm good. look, I'm good. I'm good, y'all. Okay, Keith got a new name. Way of Keith. Okay, Keith. Is that your new YouTube channel, Keith, or you just changed your name? Way of Keith says, not Popper's child. Just saying. Gwen says, I love my earth signs. Me too. The only earth sign that I mean, there's only 3 of us. The only earth sign that I kind of look, I mean, I know I'm shady towards the Virgos, but I think I prefer the Virgos more than Capricorns. Sorry, Capricorns. And it's not that I hate Capricorns. I don't. But there's a thing about Capricorns that make me go, Look, huh. But Virgos do get on my nerves sometimes. Exactly, Josh. But I can't say that here on our platform. We do have children that listen. Yes, because their parents are listening with the children. So I don't want to say too much. Okay. Megan says, I like Virgos. Y'all weird. They're weird and it can be annoying. Not all of y'all. Well, no, most of y'all. Oh, it's your Instagram name. Go follow Keith, y'all. He says, laughing, it's my Instagram name. Easier to just put that. Okay. All right, Keith. Virgo. Okay, here come the Virgos. Oh, Lord. Oh, look. See the Virgo? We have a lot of Virgos here. Oh, Happy says, no, I prefer caps. Oh. Katrina says, yes, we Virgos love this channel. Team Kempire. Thank you. See? All right. Let me see. What happened now? I'm trying to keep up with the comments. As a Sag, I agree. Look, as a Sag. Happy Sag season. Is it Capricorn season yet? No, it's not. Not yet. In like a week, it'll be Capricorn season. Maybe that's what it is. It's not that I don't like Capricorns. There's just something there that I'm just like, But if anything, Capricorns and I are supposed to be an ideal match. I feel like Capricorns and I are very much alike. So maybe that's the problem. I've dated a Capricorn before, and it wasn't bad. It just wasn't interesting. Oh, damn. Did I just call them uninteresting? Your girl Pei says Capricorns see too black and white. You know, Candy, based on what I've seen, her chart is that she's a Taurus, but I believe she has either Capricorn moon or Capricorn rising. So it kind of explains a little bit why Candy is the way that she is. Like, I can see the Taurus in her, but I can also see the Capricorn in her. Yeah. Don't you love us Libras? I have a lot of Libras around me. I do have a lot of close friends, and my sister's a Libra too. Yeah. I don't know if I love Libras. I don't hate Libras though. Queen Black. See, there's a lot of Virgos in here. Okay, let me move on, y'all. Let me finish our Real Housewives of Beverly Hills so we can talk about Nene and Nene's big return. Okay. So let's move on. So Dorit has a conversation with her parents, okay? And the conversation is about her divorce and what she's going through and her son Jagger and his emotions, and he wants to go spend time with his grandparents. PK's never really there. And when he's there, he sees them, one night a week, which is interesting to me. And I believe Dorit in regards to that because his Instagram tells us where he is and where he spends most of his time. Okay. Look, we got a lot of Virgos around here. Lord have mercy. All right. Wow. Everyone straighten up. Virgos are in the building. Oh, Chrissy says, I'm a Virgo and my fiance is a Capricorn. I could see that. I can definitely see it. Life says, best sign Capricorn, watching you from St. Lucia. What's going on, Capricorns? See, I always go easy on Capricorns. I never really have shade Capricorn, and I'm not shading them now. Natasha says, us Capricorns take no ish. We know. Elle says, was Jagger acting out? I mean, I don't think that what she described was Jagger acting out. It felt like he was very clear what he wanted. And he wanted to be with his grandparents. So they talk a little bit about that. They give us an update on the PK of it all. Really not interested or care. But one of the things that stood out to me when Dorit talks about this is the finances. Because she doesn't really know what she's responsible for paying for, what he's going to be, because it kind of changes every other day. Okay? So she recently had to get her own financial advisor in regards to paying certain things because she doesn't know. And I'm like, that's got to be uneasy. And it makes me wonder what this divorce is going to look like. And it makes me also wonder if, not that I'm worried for Dorit, but I think she should be worried because PK's finances have been questionable for a while. And it makes me wonder if they were to get a divorce, if there's anything for her to get anyway. You know what I mean? Is there anything for her to get? Yes, she has her own money. She has the show. She's been on the show for a very long time. I don't know who's going to read that Dorit book, but I'm sure she got an advance for the book. I'm not reading that Dorit book. I don't. What has Dorit give? She barely has given us anything on this reality show, unless she drops some bombshells in this book. Then I really don't get it. And honestly, if she does drop bombshells, I'm sure there'll be lovely articles to give us a synopsis. So who's reading the Dorit book? Not me. I will be reading more in 2026, so that's my goal, to read a little bit more in 2026. Reading is really good for our vocabulary and for our brains. So I'm going to encourage all of us in 2026 to read a little bit more. And yes, the book club is coming. Yeah. I already know what book I want to be the first book club. And you know it's going to be a black woman, so don't even ask. Come on. Yes. Okay. All right. Keita says nobody is reading that. Classy says, don't hate on us, Kempire. Which ones? Capricorns? I'm not hating on Capricorns. I just set up the Earth sign. Okay, let's not revisit, because then someone's gonna walk in and be mad. Ooh. With the I can't even say this word on YouTube. She says, if you leave a Gemini alone, you have no worries. Trust me, I'm leaving them way alone. Okay. Leaving them way alone. Thank you guys so much already for how many likes. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Dion, for the super chat. All right, let's just talk about this party, and then we'll get to the Nene leaks news, okay? And I will be doing timestamps after the live, okay? So, so we have a group event. Jennifer Tilly hosts an event. You know, Jennifer Tilly has two homes. The one she lives in and the one where she hosts parties. Rich. I love it. Okay? So she has the ladies over and they're all meeting up. Here's the thing. Dorit and Kyle have a little bit of an estrangement, okay? Even when they come in, there's like an awkwardness where Kyle's like, hi, Dorit. Look, hi, Dorit. This is Amanda. Oh, sidebar. We didn't even talk about the other scene with Kyle, her daughter, and Amanda and Sutton. They're going to get her registered for her wedding. And Amanda's also engaged. So this was sort of like our official introduction to Amanda. I like Amanda. I liked her from the minute that we got her in that moment. I was like, oh, there's something about her that was really interesting. So we had that scene. More of Sutton really just happy to be included. Just happy to be there. Her and Kyle, she's not going to say anything about anyone in these confessionals. It's going to be all like, I really do feel for Dorit. Even in this scene, when Dorit talks about what's going on with her and PK in her confessionals, she's just like, I remember going through something very similar. Yeah, I really feel for Dorit. Really? Really? It makes me really wonder if Garcelle was still here, if you would be saying the same thing. But I think we all know what that answer would be. All right, I'm fast forwarding. So when Dorit arrives and Kyle introduces Amanda to Dorit, then they start talking about, and Boz, this is where you lose me. I had to rewind this scene because I was like, wait, did Amanda make it seem like those were her children? So they ask her, like, oh, how many kids do you have? She's like, 4. And then she explains, she's like, oh, they're like 4? And she's like, well, she's like, yeah, I have two stepchildren. And Boz has to point out, oh, his children. She's like, well, I'm raising them. And then Boz says in her confessional, oh, you know, that she's not cool with trying to claim that you're the mother of someone else's other kids. Here's the thing. I had to rewind it back and I was like, did Amanda say that? Amanda just openly said, I have 4 kids. She didn't need to decipher, because especially for stepchildren, they might feel a way if she deciphered, like, I only have 2 children. You know what I mean? I love the fact that she's like, I'm helping raise them. I look at them as my own children. She never says that she was their mother. So her trying to clean it up in her confessional, in that moment, the way she said it, I was like, Boz, like, this is a bit much. If anything, it's a wonder. It's not like she was just like, I'm their mama. Because I honestly, based off of what Boz was describing, I said, wait, did Amanda say that? No, Amanda says, I have 4 kids. Meaning that she values those children, those stepchildren, as her own. And she's like, oh, so his kids. Did anyone else get annoyed by that? I was just like, Boz, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you unwell? As Rachel Zoe said early in the episode. Okay. Izzy says, are those not still her kids, though? I love the fact that she embraces and is telling strangers that I have 4 kids. And she says that she's helping raise them. She never made it seem like she's their mother and that there is no other mother. Because I literally had to rewind. I was like, wait, did Amanda make it seem like she's the mama? She's like, no, I have 4 kids. I was like, and it was the way that Boz said it to her. It's like, oh, so those are his kids. I'm like, okay. All right. Fine. Bianna says bonus parents can never win. You know, one of the things, the scene we forgot to talk about was Boz and her daughter, because her daughter talks about, so how do you feel about Keely? You know, her fiance, they didn't get engaged yet at this particular point. Okay. So she's like, so how do you feel about Keely? So she's like doing her hair and things like that. She's like, oh, I like him. And he's like, if when you guys get engaged, I'd like for him to ask for my permission. Okay. I'm okay with that. Fine. You're welcome, Boz. We talked about your only scene at home. So that was a scene that annoyed me. So Jennifer Tilly is hosting a sort of paint and sip. And so they go out to her garden, and they have these easels set up, and then these men come out in robes. Okay? And then they all strip. Okay? Some of them were caked up. Okay? I was like, all right. One of them had his arch back like this. Kyle painted him like a woman, but he had his back like this arched, okay, on that stool. So they were all impressed, and they were just like, oh, just happy to look at the naked bodies. Okay? Having a good kiki watching this and painting. Okay? So they do that. Everyone said that Rachel Zoe had the best picture. I feel like they're just all sucking up to Rachel Zoe. I don't know if she had the best picture. I can't remember all the pictures, but I don't know if she had the best picture. Did she have the best picture? I also feel like they're sucking up to her in a little bit. But anyway. So they go inside, and then, they're catching up, and they talk about, Dorit talks about some of what she's been going through with PK, and she gets really emotional about it. And she says that PK is trying to prevent the kids from going to Florida to be with her parents. And Kyle goes over to comfort her and blah, 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 blah. Okay. But then it gets heated between Kyle and Dorit, because Kyle's like, so why don't you just, have them go down, but and PK will be there with them. I think that's a good compromise. And she's like, no, I don't see that. Mind you, over here in the corner, as Dorit is trying to tell her story, we got Boz going, yeah, yeah, damn. So it gets a little heated, even though it feels like Boz is defending Dorit, and then she sort of sees where Kyle is coming. Like, I didn't understand where she stood. Okay. But then it gets a little heated between Dorit and Kyle, because Dorit gets frustrated with Kyle, always trying to see it from PK's side. She feels like she's always picking PK's side over hers, which goes back to what they talked about in the after show. Goes back to Kyle and sort of downplaying her friendship with Dorit. So she's still triggered. So it feels like this season we're getting another back and forth between Dorit and Kyle. Whatever. All right, I'm gonna move on from that, because that's not why you're here. You're here to talk about a couple of things, and the most important scene of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills happened at the end. So we have Kyle and Erica Jane meet up, and this is where Kyle admits that she was in a relationship. She doesn't say Morgan's name. Scissoring, we gon' be scissoring, but not anymore. We broke up last season, and I don't wanna talk about it anymore. But I was scissoring. I was scissoring. Scissoring. Oh, look, I forgot to go live on Twitch. Y'all didn't remind me to go live on Twitch. I am so mad at y'all. Y'all didn't remind me to go live on Twitch. Let me go live on Twitch now. Sorry, Twitch users. Why didn't y'all remind me to go live on Twitch? I just remembered. I was just thinking to myself, like, why don't I think Twitch, there's a quick response. Sorry, Twitch fam. You get to see the end, though. You get to see the end. We're live on Twitch now. Hey, Twitch fam. Okay. So she opens up to Erica about her relationship. And she's like, what would you do if you were in a relationship with someone, but they don't want to deal with this. They don't want to be talked about on a reality show or in this public space. What would you do? What would you do? She's like, I would protect them. I would protect them. Okay? Here's the thing. I understand where you're coming from, Kyle. You didn't want to talk about your relationship, but you know what? You chose this reality show over your relationship. Because if you really valued the relationship and you wanted to explore the relationship, you should have just taken the season off or took a demotion. But she really thinks that she's the queen over there at Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and they probably also treat her like that. Okay? So I honestly, very much the same reason why Jenna Lyons is not coming back, because they were going to demote Jenna because her partner did not want to be on the show. They didn't want her to be discussed on Real Housewives of New York. So they offered Jenna a demotion. But that was before they gave us a whole season of Jenna talking about someone that wasn't even featured on the show. Again, this was just another example why Kyle needs to take a break from the show. Because you weren't willing, even though Garcelle was asking you about it, and you made such a big deal about Garcelle asking you about it, and that's part of the reason why a lot was edited out of that reunion and why Garcelle felt so left out of the group. And you all decided that you were going to turn on Garcelle. But Garcelle was asking the same questions that we see in this episode that Boz is asking. She's like, if she's not going to open up to me, I mean, it's clear she was dating someone. Okay. So she finally, at the end of this episode, it took this entire episode before Kyle admits that she was in a relationship, but now she's no longer in a relationship. It's very clear who she was in a relationship with because we saw them photographed everywhere together. Here's the thing, though. And this is the most annoying thing when reality stars do this. They gaslight the audience like we're dumb. We see what it is. And you're mad at Garcelle for mentioning Morgan. You're mad at Garcelle for saying, if you want to be a lesbian, be a lesbian. She didn't mean, she wasn't trying to make fun of you. What she was saying to you is like, we are going to support you, girl. Bon vivant. Okay? Live your life. Ooh! She said, if you want to be a lesbian, be a lesbian. And you got so mad at her to the point at that reunion, at the very beginning of the reunion, she was ready to have a good reunion, Garcelle. And she comes to the reunion, she tries to say hello to you, and you're already giving her the cold shoulder because she told you to be a lesbian, which we now found out that you are a freaking lesbian or bisexual, whatever you want to call it. Ooh. You were so mad at her for saying that. You were talking about her in interviews and just being so nasty when no one, in the moment, you laughed with her. And clearly you were being a lesbian. You were at least, engaging in lesbian behavior. And she was not trying to out you. She said, if you want to be a lesbian, be a lesbian. Because, girl, you can't sit here and say that anyone was trying to out you because you sat up there while still married to Mauricio Umansky and did a whole lesbianic music video that no one asked for. And then gaslighting us, you're like, oh, I'm not dating anyone. I'm not, we're not in a relationship. No, you guys can't mention Morgan on the show. You can't mention, you had this woman on the show and then you tattooed your initial on the woman. Get out of my face. Get out of my face. This is what's so annoying. This is why you've become so freaking unlikable, Kyle. I used to like Kyle in the early years. She's become so unlikable in recent years. So if you guys are really doing any sort of focus groups, Bravo, you turned a blind eye because so many people do not like Kyle. You've had guests come on Watch What Happens Live and said if there was a housewife that you would put on pause, more than one person has said, more than two people have said, Kyle. She should have been put on pause last season. But okay. Now she's out the closet. Now will she date another woman? No, I don't believe she's a lesbian. I really don't. You know what I mean? I don't think she's a lesbian. Mimi says, clearly you were being a lesbian made me laugh entirely too hard.
That's really upsetting to me, so I'd appreciate it if you didn't say that.
Come on. It's just frustrating. It's frustrating because what they did to Garcelle during that reunion, icing her out, making her feel guilty for actually asking the questions the audience wanted answers to as well. We were tired of us sort of playing around when we see what's playing out here on social media and with the paparazzi. Singer DST said the closet door was wide open. The closet door was glass. We could see through it. But I really don't think that Kyle is a lesbian. I think she engaged in lesbian behavior, and I don't see her doing it again. I think this might have been a one-off. Okay? A rebound of some sorts. Okay. Dame MC Gold, love that name. Thank you for the super chat. Dame says Boz is a flyer, anywhere goes. Oh. Keith, thank you so much for being a member for the super chat. Keith says, I'm trying to give Boz and her high density wigs a chance. I mean, I really do try to come in giving her a chance, but there's just certain little things I'm like, But she just doesn't do it for me. Also, Kyle, the closet is see-through. Move along. Yeah. All right. Before we get to the Nene news, I'm going to drop the call-in link for our Twitch fam and our members. So Twitch fam, just because I forgot to give it to y'all, I'm going to drop it now for you guys, the call-in link. All right. For those that want to weigh in on some of the stories that we've talked about this afternoon. I couldn't just come live and talk about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. If next week there's nothing else to talk about besides Beverly Hills, I probably will not recap that episode and come back to it whenever we come back to it. I can't promise you anything. Okay. I am not committing. All right. Oh, all right. Let me drop the call-in link for our members first before we do that. And guys, don't forget, you can also hear our live recaps on the Kempire podcast and special episodes. I dropped a lot of tea in the last Club Kempire episode, so you may have missed it. And I haven't talked about it anywhere else. If you follow me on Instagram, I also posted a couple of new photos. And those are the raw, that's like BTS that you guys are seeing. You'll see the edited, retouched, Angel version soon. Okay. All right, let me drop this for all our members. Members, I dropped the call link for you guys there. And members, you got to see behind the scenes first before anyone else. All right, let's get to the Nene leaks of it all. So Nene Leakes is returning to the Bravo universe. Come on, one time from Nene. But this should be no surprise. I knew that eventually it would happen. I wasn't sure if it would be the new season of The Traitors. If you came to my London show, which was a year ago, London, I told you guys first. I had been sitting on that news for a while, and I said, I'm going to reveal it in London, that I had found out that Nene was going to be on the next season of The Traitors. Nene confirmed that in an interview this year, and then said she had to pull out because her son, Brent, was sick. He's had some really serious health issues. So that was part of the reason why she had to end up pulling out from The Traitors. So you also know during BravoCon weekend, which was a few weeks ago, Andy Cohen confirmed that he has spoken to Nene, that he's texted with Nene. Nene revealed in an interview with Carlos that wasn't the first time that they had spoken in recent months. So I believe because of Traitors, they knew because, Andy Cohen hosts the Traitors reunion. I think that's why the conversation started, because they didn't want it to be, okay, at the reunion, it's the first time that they see or speak to each other. Okay. Well, I will read you People Magazine's article about Andy Cohen announces the Real Housewives Ultimate Road Trip in 2026. This is going to rock your world. So buckle up for the Real Housewives Ultimate Road Trip. Andy Cohen announced that the latest iteration of the beloved series, Ultimate Girls Trip, is returning in 2026. The new special event series called Ultimate Road Trip will see a group of beloved housewives from across the years embark on a once-in-a-lifetime adventure, making their way through some of the most memorable locations in the franchise history, according to the press release. Starting where it all began in Orange County and culminating in an epic East Coast grand finale, each stop will feature appearances by fan favorites from different cities to pay tribute to the past, embrace the present, and look toward the many miles still ahead. Along the way, viewers can expect nostalgic reunions, heartfelt revelations, effortless humor, and the larger-than-life dynamics that only Housewives can deliver. How you gonna make it to Dubai? Just saying. Because everybody wants to see Chanel Ayan. Especially after BravoCon weekend, people are like, we need her back. We need her on a road trip, something. And Chanel is close with Nene, Kenya. No, I don't think you guys are going to see Kenya. Recently, an interview was done with one of the Bravo executives, and they said, the door isn't closed to Kenya, but right now, that doesn't seem like it's going to be a possibility. With Britt Eadie's lawsuit actually moving forward right now, there's no way. Because in her lawsuit, it mentions the fact that she had heard that Kenya was coming back for season 17. So that's in her lawsuit. So that's part of the reason why I was like, I don't think you guys are going to see Kenya on season 17 or anytime soon until this lawsuit's either is settled or resolved. So they continue. It said Cohen made the announcement on November 16th, the third and final day of BravoCon 2025 in Las Vegas, during an Ask Andy panel. This is going to rock your world, he told the audience. Ultimate Road Trip is meant to be a love letter to the women who turned a reality television show into a cultural phenomenon, and that the fans who've been there for every laugh, gasp, toast, and table turn. This is Francis Berwick, chairman of Bravo and Peacock Unscripted, said in a statement. Ultimate Girls Trip premiered, as you know, in 2021 when OG housewives from various cities vacationed together in Turks and Caicos. I've recently rewatched that. There have been four other installments that aired in the years following: the Berkshires, Thailand, and St. Bart's. But the Morocco one, because it involved an incident between Brandy Glanville and Caroline Manzo, and Caroline Manzo suing the network. Brandy has spoken out against the network. She hasn't worked with the network since then. I don't think we're ever going to see Morocco. But I remember the last BravoCon, which was 2 years ago, before this last one, Andy said, yeah, I don't think we're going to be doing any Ultimate Girls Trip this year. And we haven't seen a new one since then, until this Ultimate Girls Trip, road trip. So our friends over at Pop Tings got everyone talking this morning. Pop Ting says this on X. Nene Leakes is rumored to return to the Bravo universe in the upcoming edition of Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. But I just want to kind of correct it. I don't believe that it's Ultimate Girls Trip. Again, we don't know for sure. Bravo has not confirmed this at all, or Peacock. But I believe it's going to be her being a part of the Ultimate Road Trip. I think at the end of the day, everyone feels like whatever she's going to be a part of is going to be some sort of introduction to Nene returning to Real Housewives of Atlanta. I can see Nene returning to Real Housewives of Atlanta, but I don't want Nene to stay there. I think Nene should come back in some shape or form. Maybe after the season, we won't feel that way. Maybe they will get into their groove and it will be... No, I think we need Nene to come back to Atlanta at some point, maybe for a couple of seasons, and then her work on something else. That's the thing with reality television. I feel like it becomes this sort of hamster wheel of you're stuck in reality television. That's all you could ever do. Nene was one of the first people that we saw in reality television sort of kind of break out and do other things. It unfortunately just did not continue to pan out for her. Exactly. K-Baby says, Ultimate Road Trip, very MTV. Remember that? Savannah says, does she still have a podcast? You mean her YouTube show? When was the last time she posted on her YouTube show? Let's check. Because we checked the other day. I forgot where it was. I don't know if it was on. I don't know if it was on when we were on TikTok or something like that. But we did check, and we were like, she ain't posted in. But she's on a hiatus. She's off for the summer and the winter. The last time she posted was 3 months ago. And remember, we said that she wouldn't be consistent. And then she was being consistent. And then all of a sudden, she had some really interesting guests like Krishan Rock, Tommy Lee. And we were like, okay, where is this going? Where is this going? All right. Singer DST says her YouTube show was good. Well, I don't know what's happening with it. I'm not saying it's not going to come back, but here we are. Here we are. So that's the news. Shout out to Pop Tings on X. They were the ones to break the news this morning or this afternoon. Or was it this morning? No, this morning. That Nene Leakes is rumored to return to the Bravo universe in an upcoming edition of Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. I believe it's going to be the Real Housewives Ultimate Road Trip that she'll be a part of. So I'll be watching. I think Nene's great television. I will never take that. Look, we've been critical of Nene, but that doesn't mean we will take away from what Nene has added to the reality TV space or Real Housewives space. She should be a part of this. She should have been a part of Ultimate Girls Trip. I would have loved to see. Honestly, I still would like to see an Ultimate Girls Trip with some of the OGs of Atlanta. Very much like what they did with Roni Legacy. I would love to see some sort of iteration for Atlanta. I would like to see that. But I only want to see that if Kenya can be a part. And that might take some time before Kenya can be a part. So don't do it yet. Well, how many people they usually bring for Ultimate Girls Trip? But see, that would be so sad for Kenya. I know Kenya's probably watching all these things happen and her not get a call to be a part. Mr. Melanin Magic, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. He says, Kyle use that hillbilly to experiment. That's all. Well, damn. Why she got to be a hillbilly? Teach, thank you so much for being a member for the super chat. Teach says, I'm late. Not sure if anyone said it, but Bravo should punish Kyle like they did regular Robin Dixon. Well, she didn't put it behind a paywall. It was all in front of us. She just refused to talk about it. They have different rules for different housewives. Please understand that as well. They do sort of cater to Kyle. Because why is she allowed to get away with what she's been able to get away with? Houston Foodie says, my girl is back. Nene Leakes is back. I love it. I'm interested. Nene Leakes is good reality television. And it would be nice to see her in a different space. And I think for her, it would be really good too. Because if you come back right into Atlanta, there are going to be people that are going to test you. It's just going to be different energy. I'd much rather see her in a space that's different. And she's just able to have a good time. You know what I mean? So, and it's not just about drama. So that would be interesting. But based off of how this show is described, it doesn't sound like it's going to be an Ultimate Girls Trip. I don't know if all of them are going to be on this road trip together. Is it going to be in a Sprinter van? Are they what are they doing? Because I still want to see like an Ultimate Girls Trip-esque season of something. But we shall see, right? We shall see. Guys, I will drop the calling. We have almost 900 likes. Let's get to 900 likes, and I will drop the calling for the general audience. Let me see if we have anyone waiting backstage for me. Oh, we do. We have a lot of people backstage that want to share their thoughts. We talked about a lot. I will add the timestamps later on, but I want to get to the callers. I appreciate you all being here. Keep liking the video. We did a special live. I talked about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. We talked about Bronwyn Newport's divorce. We talked about Shamea suing for a bad chemical peel on her back. We talked about Nene Leakes apparently getting her peach back, but not really. We talked about a lot of different things, okay? And Jen Shah. We also talked about Jen Shah. Well, no longer inmate Shah, so we can call her Jen Shah again. All right. The opinions of the callers do not represent the opinions of myself, the Kempire LLC, or our sponsors, and they agree to abide by the timer. If you do not, I'm going to drop you, boom, like you're going to fall into a pit of fire. Let's get to the callers. Let me bring up Taurus with the T first. Taurus with the T, what did you want to share?
Happy Friday, Kim.
You too.
Can you hear me good?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay, I just want to say, I think it would be iconic if they bring back Nene and Kim at the same time. Because the last time we saw them on the bus, Nene was threatening to beat Kim up. That would be really fun for us to see on TV. I think Bronwyn is doing right by leaving Todd. He is not interested in her and he's not faithful, so she should move on to someone hotter and younger. Um,
Mm.
with Kyle, I do have the same sentiments as the other commentator about her being punished, but also to some extent, I feel like Kyle, as she said, was doing this out of vulnerability because she sees that Mo is living his life and she can't do it and move on the way how he is. So I think
Mm.
that's interesting. And I hope Shamea wins that lawsuit. I just want to say, here in Atlanta, I went to see an OBGYN once and I was having a below the waist procedure and they were using some kind of new technology and they had a light bulb that exploded on me while I was naked from the waist down and I had chemical burns.
Say that last part again.
So I went to see an OBGYN
Uh-huh.
here in Atlanta back in 2022, and she was doing some kind of below the waist examination. And like they usually put a lamp down there for women so they could get a good look.
Mm.
Child, why did the light bulb explode while I was naked below the waist? And I got burns all over that area. It was honestly very petrifying because the OBGYN was acting as though like she cleaned me up and she bandaged me up. I try to keep my cool, obviously, because like I'm naked, but I felt like she underplayed that so terribly. She had no emotions about it. And what really broke my heart was she was a black provider. And I was like, this is not how you should be treating your patients. I just got a burn that I did not come in with from the equipment in your office.
And
I
when
tried to seek legal action, but I couldn't. It was terrible. I never saw her again.
you couldn't you couldn't sue her?
No, I had reached out to a few attorneys and I was unsuccessful.
Oh hell no.
But I had a remaining balance of the procedure that she did for me and I never paid her because girl, you burned me. How dare you?
But did it affect your credit because you didn't pay her?
No, because it wasn't like a large amount. I just
Oh.
found a new provider and moved on. So I hope Shamia sues and wins. These people need to take accountability for when they affect people physically and mentally.
Oh my god, I'm sorry that happened to you. My gosh, that's terrible.
Yeah, it was very petrifying. But thank you. Have a nice weekend.
Thanks, Taurus with the T. Very Taurus like. Bye, Taurus with the T. Wow, and it takes a lot for a Taurus to sue too, or to seek legal action because we're very like easygoing. That's terrible. Atlanta, do better. All right, let me bring Miss Wendy up. Miss Wendy, how are you?
Hi. Oh my gosh, I am petrified for Taurus with the T. What she just told me, I
I
am
know,
mortified.
I know.
Oh my gosh, I can just like ouch.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm okay, Bronwyn, good for you, girl. Leave Tide. You did smart. You did smart. Um, dang it. Oh, Taurus with the T. Okay, two. I'm gonna need Cal to bring in her Capricorn energy and just let it go. Cause once we are done, we are done. Be done with Mauricio and move
Mm.
on, girl. Um, three. I was wondering why did Peacock show the men's naked butts and then also showed Erica drawing the picture of the peen, but then you didn't see the peen.
Oh, you wanted to see the P? Okay, Miss Wendy.
And then my last question to you, you said it was gonna be a prenup, but would you sign the billionaires prenup? Because the billionaires in your future.
Yeah, I would sign it.
Okay,
Yeah,
well that's it.
but please understand the prenup doesn't automatically mean that you get nothing.
Okay,
So we would have to do some negotiations on what that prenup is going to look like.
okay.
Okay, there will be time if you cheat on me.
Oh yeah, you gonna owe me $1 billion.
If we every 5 years, I need to add up. I need a certain amount of money for every 5 years I'm married to you.
All right, get that billionaire man.
Okay, so
Yes.
prenups doesn't have to be the way that Candy had her prenup, where you split everything that you gain together. No. If we stay married, if you cheat on me, there's gonna be a few stipulations. I'm gonna get me a good lawyer.
Yeah,
Okay.
get your good one. All right, back
Hi,
Kempire.
Wendy. What do you ask me about my prenup? Am I gonna sign the billionaires prenup? That ain't none of y'all business. But I'd much rather sign a prenup because at the end of the day, you sort of like leave it in the court's hands to decide what you're going to get, unless we get married in like a 50-50 state. Is New York 50-50? New York is not 50-50, is it? Does anyone know? Well, maybe I'll meet him in California. All right, Alessia. Not us plotting and planning. Shh, we can't be talking about this on a public platform. Let me delete this. All right, Alessia, what's going on?
Hey, Kempire, how are you?
Well, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm a bit sick, but overall okay.
Mm.
So there's a lot of things to talk about. First of all, Shah. Let's be honest. The reason she's not back is because, first of all, she's the wrong color. I said what I said.
Mm.
Second thing, Salt Lake City is going fine. It's going okay. I think that if Salt Lake City wasn't going that well, and Andy wouldn't have taken like Salt Lake City under his wing, he would have definitely bring back Shah. And I think there's the same reason why Nene is back. Let's be honest. Without Nene, Atlanta is not Atlanta anymore. They tried the reboot. They tried everything. It's not working. To be completely fair, now that they're doing this road trip, whatever, just send her back to Atlanta. We need Nene. Either you like it or not, we need Nene. It's not the same thing for Shah, so yeah. Bronwyn was smart. She was really smart. So yeah, I applaud her. And I knew, like I told you, like in the like a few weeks ago, that she was just waiting for the divorce. So she was really smart. And nobody cares about Kyle, Richard, and her scissoring. I mean, it's not even an announcement. I mean, we already knew everything about it. And I'm glad I didn't watch the episode. Like listening to your recap, I didn't lose anything. They just proved that the Garcelle was right all along, and they're a bunch of hypocrites.
Oh,
That means goodbye, Kempire.
thanks,
Bye.
Alessia. Take care. Bye. The next caller, don't tell them. I'm gonna give them a Boz. Watch. Duchess D's backstage. Duchess D, what did you want to share?
I heard that.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that. Go
Yep.
ahead. Anyway,
Yep.
the Jen Shah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she's not coming back because not only did she
Yeah.
piss off Bravo with
Uh-huh.
the interview, and
Mm.
okay, see, she pissed off Bravo with the interview. She showed up to BravoCon uninvited, and she may or may not have hit Heather, but also the
yeah.
numbers didn't work in her favor. The ratings sunk in season 3,
Oh,
and then
it's
they
worse.
soared in season 4 with Monica, and then it's still doing good. And then next season, we're getting divorced Bronwyn, a divorced Bob, divorced fashions, divorced dating. They don't need her. So the numbers just didn't work in her favor. There's no reason to bring Jen back. And then Nene, I'm so happy. I want to see her back on TV. I still don't think she'll be able to save Atlanta. It's past its prime. It's just, it would be nice to see her maybe show up a little bit, but she can't make Atlanta what it was back in 2008. But I would love to see her on, Road Trip. I would love to see her on The Traders. Hopefully she can do that next season.
Yeah.
Anywhere else, I would love to see her. But yes, that's all I have.
Mm-hmm. Damn. Bye, Duchess. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. I think the way that Nene should play this, don't come back to Atlanta. Continue this relationship with NBC Universal. Continue to do the red carpets. Continue to do some of their reality TV shows, because I'm sure they pay a lot better than some of these other networks. And continue to use the platform to promote other things that you're working on and to book other gigs. So use it, but don't come back to Atlanta, because then that way you don't have to share your life. You don't have to share what's going on with you current. Like, you're dating that man on again, off again. Who cares? You know what I mean? The other day, you saw Nene dancing with Apollo. Everybody's like, oh my God, Nene's dancing flirtation with Apollo. Close your legs to married men. First of all, apparently Naomi, her on again, off again boyfriend, was also there. They've known each other for a very long time. She's in a good place with Phaedra as well. So I think Nene will be fine. But Nene, still be very selective of the reality shows that you do. Traders, that's like the #1 show for NBC Universal right now. This new show, Real Housewives Ultimate Road Trip. I don't even want Nene. Someone said House of Villains. No. That feels like the real has-beens go there. I'm sorry to anyone that's done it. But no, don't do that one, Nene. Don't do that one. All the new stuff you do, okay? All the popular stuff you do, because you're a queen. All right, let me bring up Brandy. I'm gonna give her some of the Boz treatment too. Hold on, Brandy, are you there?
No, because when you just did that, I had to do a double take. Like, what is going on? Okay.
Yeah. Damn.
You are crazy. Now you just threw me off doing all that Boz.
See?
Okay, wait. I was gonna say Kyle. I think that she blew up her marriage prematurely because she was feeling Morgan when she should have just took a leave of absence from her marriage and came back to it, because it's obvious, like, that was temporary, and she seems to still want to be with
Bing.
Mauricio, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And Boz had me feeling all type of irritated and uncomfortable with that comment she made about the stepkids.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, do you want Keely referring to Lael as that other man's daughter? Like, that ain't my daughter. That's that other man's daughter. Like,
That
what?
point. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I just wanted to point out another YouTuber has said too about Boz. Like, why does she always roll up to people little parties with like a whole entourage? Like, who's all these people? Like
Oh,
the
you're right.
assistant, Keely, the housekeeper, the beautician. Like, who is all these people you bringing, girl? Like,
Somebody can hold up the bundles.
well, I'm just like, she wouldn't be invited to my house. Like, look, you can't be bringing your whole family now.
Lord. Okay. Thanks, Brandy.
That was it.
Bye. Angel's backstage. Going to bring Angel up next. Angel, what's going on?
Hey, Kempire, how are
Mhm.
you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. Okay, so most of the topics I don't really care about. I
Mhm.
do feel bad for Shamea. That
Mhm.
is crazy, but
Oh, yep.
I've had an experience too. I'm not going to go into it like
Oh.
tourists with the T did, but
Mhm.
doctors throughout the whole state of Georgia will botch you and they don't care. They get
Oh,
away with it because they have good malpractice
damn.
insurance. So, um, but congratulations to Nene. I think she's going to do great. I agree with you. I think she should use this as a stepping stone and then do some bigger and better things to elevate herself and make people remember that Nene is who she is. So
Mm.
I've seen a couple clips of the road trip for the African version. So I think if they put
Oh.
her around the right people, like maybe Eva to be the balance and like some other good anchors, it would be great. Kim for some drama with her whole life. I don't know, but it'll be cute because you can only fit so many people in a car. So,
But unless they're doing like a sprinter van or something.
so what? 8 max, between 6 and 8 for the cast, but I think it'll be good. I'm excited for Nene, and I will be tuning in. So that's it.
Okay. Thanks, Angel. Take care. All right. Perfect timing. Guys, we're almost at 900 likes. Once we get to 900 likes, I will drop the call link for the general audience. If you haven't liked the video, be sure to like the video. Be sure to subscribe. We just hit, 559,000 subscribers here on YouTube. Make sure you guys also follow me on TikTok, TheKempire on TikTok, because I do go live there often. I went live there last night, so you just never know. Sometimes I'm talking about things that I don't talk about anywhere else, okay? All right, let's get to some more callers. We got Toya backstage. Toya, what's going on?
Hi, Kempire. How are you?
Oh, well, how are you?
I'm good. Kyle, girl, we don't care. Mauricio is living his best life, girl. You just move on. Um, Bronwyn, I'm happy to see a single Bronwyn, and I would let. She said, I think she's gorgeous. I love the long hair look on her.
Hmm.
I'd like to see her dating someone within her age bracket and happy, because when Todd took that cherry, after she said the cherry
Right?
is my favorite thing, like to me, like that seems small and insignificant, but like my one little piece of joy was eating the cherry and your behind took my cherry. That was not
Like 2
nice.
seconds later.
Right. And Nene, I hope they bring the right women on the show with Nene because it can be really good. I'd like to see Candace. I think Candace and
Mm.
Nene would be a great duo. Because you know they
Mm.
only gonna bring so many black women.
Whoa. There are only so many black women on the network.
True that. True that.
All right.
Thank you, Kempire. Have a
Thanks.
good one.
You too, Toya. Take care. And we just hit over 900 likes. So I'm going to drop the call in link for the general audience as well. Keep liking the video. Hold on. We also had a super chat. Thank you so much for the super chat. Hi, Kemp. Hi, Kemp. I've been covering from a bad F1 season. Oh, no. I appreciate the laughs. If you shall ever consider a live chat about prenups, I may call in. Well, I might need you to advise me on my own prenup. Okay. I have a trust set per the prenup. If you do it right, prenups are great. That's exactly what I was saying. This is exactly what I was saying. If you do it right, you can have a prenup that's in your favor. Allegedly, they said that Janet Jackson had a really good prenup. allegedly, we don't know if it's true, but the rumor said that if she had a baby, she got a certain amount of millions, and if she stayed married to him for a certain amount of time. So I want to make sure my prenup is good. So, I mean, if you want to call it now and talk about the prenup, that'd be fine by me. Okay. All right. All right. Let me bring up O'Shea next. O'Shea, I feel like I haven't talked to you in forever.
Hey, yes, I've been outside in
Oh!
the summertime. Hey, Kempire.
What's going on?
You know, as I was watching Beverly Hills, I realized that this is like its funeral season, and it's
Ooh.
time to let it go.
Mhm.
There's something to be said that we are only excited to see the newbies here than the entire cast that's there, and that's quite disappointing to see. I don't know, somebody asked us last week, but I was outside again. But Dorit is a Zionist, and she is a militant Zionist at that. I can't even repeat the things that she shared and stuff on here, but there's an account on Twitter if people want to search her name and the things, and it has the receipts go on and on. Some of the stuff is unspeakable. But yeah, so I just wanted to add that. And I'm excited to see Nene on road trip, because at least that way we can just see her personality. Because on Housewives, Nene Noche doesn't have a life that she's going to share with us.
Yeah.
I know she has a lot of drama with the children and the grandkids and stuff, but she'll never talk about that.
Yeah.
You know, no matter situation. So I think stuff like this, and like your suggestion about traders and stuff, where it's just about her personality, and I'm sure that would be great to see.
Yeah. Unless she
But thanks,
unless she comes as a friend of, and then she doesn't really have to show that life.
Perfect. Yeah, like a Cynthia type of thing. I think that would be nice. Nice to see.
But quiet as it's kept, if they bring her back as a friend of, the budget might not be room enough for Cynthia or some of these other ladies. Just saying.
3 people will have to go. They'll have to cut out 3 people.
Yeah.
The budget.
Even with her friend of budget. Thanks, O'Shea. Take care. All right, let me bring up Tyler. Tyler, what's going on?
Hi, Kempire.
Hey.
When Andy spoke on the road trip thing at BravoCon, I think he said it's going to be OGs from multiple cities. So
Yeah.
she'd probably be paired with maybe like a Giselle or probably Karen if she goes, but definitely Giselle. She's thirsty. But I could see that Giselle, maybe Luann and all them. Kyle, she's boring as all outdoors. But people like that. When I would like to see Nene come back as a friend on Housewives, because some of those new girls just are not bringing it. And I think if there was a presence of a Nene like last season, it actually would have been good, because she would have pushed like Shamea or somebody to tell the truth. Like, because Nene has a motherly way of doing things, but she also gets you together. So I could see her being a good friend of. Beverly Hills, I used to love it. It's so boring. And honestly, Beverly Hills is kind of to the point of where I look at it like I don't even see how it would come back. Like it could kind of end. Like, and I would be okay. Just being honest, it could end. It's not good. I don't even think bringing back Garcelle this season would have made it good. And I love Garcelle.
Yeah.
I just think they've reached their peak. Cal is boring. Why is she there? I would have loved to see Kimora, but I want to see her on her own. But it's just boring. How they're trying to make girls younger on other shows or whatever they're trying to do. Maybe they should try that with Beverly Hills, because the housewives there live the lives, and they are, they're it would be more exciting. It's just boring. It's run its course.
What did you think about Amanda? Because Amanda is younger.
I like Amanda. I really do. But I think that the ambiance that we get from Beverly Hills, and I'm not being an ageist when I say this, I think that the influencer and the girls that are there, they should bring that to Beverly Hills, because that's what you watch it for. There's this gorgeous Black girl who is an influencer. She lives in California. Her name is Jackie Ina. I don't know if you know her.
Yes.
She would be amazing for something.
Have you seen her
like
home?
that. Yes, I would love to see her with like Amanda and some young. I would love, and like a Kimora being there, being an anchor who has lived this life. I think that would be way better. Bye, Cal. Erica could probably stay with those girls. Erica could. But if you think about it, Erica could probably work with those girls and maybe Boz, because of her thing. And I have a Boz story, and then I'm gonna go. I cannot say what company I work for. However, Years ago, Boz was working for Uber, doing something for Uber, and we had some type of seminar, and she was there. That is one of the rudest people that I have ever encountered in my life. She is horrible. It's almost as if when she got on stage, it was two different personalities.
Tyler, why are you waiting to tell us the story when we had
I don't think
everybody?
I've ever called in about Beverly Hills. I'm so sorry.
Because
But yes,
did you see when we were talking about when Tish was calling in, bringing in the tea about other people speaking out
no,
about her?
I mean, I'm so sorry. I've been meaning to say this. She was doing something with Uber. I don't
She
know
was
if
an
she was
executive
like
over at
there.
Uber at one point for like 2 years.
Yes, and this was a few years ago, and she came, and I didn't know who she was. No offense, I didn't.
Yeah.
And people were so excited to meet her, and it was like, oh my, that was the root. But when she got on stage and was speaking, she was so empowering, so like, oh my God, we win as a people, we this and this and that. But she was only nice to the white people backstage, and that is facts. She was rude.
Tyler did not see the tea that we spilled last season about her, which, Tyler, you're confirming what we were saying about her last season.
She was only nice to the white people. And the thing about it, I can't say curse on here, but my colleague said, this beep doesn't even know I'm the AGM of the building. And she's not even talking to me. She's talking to my subordinates. I said, exactly. She was rude, horrible. And when she got on stage, I'm telling you, Kempire, it was as if like a light bulb flipped, and she used all those keywords. Go after your dreams. You have to this and this and this and this and that. I'm like, girl, you ain't no Martin Luther King, because he was trying to say the black people, you want us to stay on the ship.
Damn.
I'm just telling you.
And
Horrible.
you didn't watch last season of Beverly Hills?
No,
Oh.
I watched like a few episodes, but not like that. And it just made me think about it when you all were just talking about her. Bozema is horrible in person, especially to black people.
Damn, Tyler. Well, thank you for coming in and spilling the tea. Tish, are you here somewhere? You hear this story, Tish? Thanks, Tyler. Bye. See, and y'all, you just don't like Boz. Well, it wasn't based off the show. It was based off of all the tea of people coming in. And now Tyler is surviving Bozema St. John. And he literally said exactly what people were saying about her. Tish, you there? See, Tish, she said, y'all. See, Tish is in the building because Tish was spilling the tea last season. All right, let me bring Keith up because now we're running long. What's going on, Keith?
Hey, Kempire.
Hey.
Ooh, maybe she was telling a lie. Okay, I was all ears. Oh, she made me lose my train of thought. But also, I wanted to say, inmate Shah. Well, congratulations to her because now she has been promoted to halfway Shah. So I think that's her new name. So congratulations to her, I guess. But also, Boz is also the reason why I feel like there's no such thing as a girl's girl. And this is coming from a guy. I do have a lot of female friends, and I do hear how they talked about a lot of other women. And Boz give me that type of feeling as well. Like she likes to portray that she is a girl's girl. But truth be told, if there's another woman in a situation that she wants, she's willing to take her down to get her spot. She kind of reminded me of Diddy in a way, but not as salacious in what he did. And if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But also, Nene, I feel like she hasn't been the same since she actually got rid of her blonde pixie cut. Because ever since she got rid of her blonde pixie cut, she started acting a little bit higher mighty. So hopefully she can come back and do a little bit of a different phase of her life. But that's really about it.
Thanks, Keith. All right, let me get to a couple of super chats. Kendra, thank you so much for another super chat. Kendra says, "Did you watch Brooke Ashley's interview with Angel? The script reading was so obvious." I watched half of it. I haven't gotten through the rest of it, but I've seen some of the clips as well. Oh, Lord, I don't know about Angel, y'all. Alti, thank you so much. Oh, I got a shimmy. $20. Got a $19.99. Ooh. Shimmy. All right. I shall have the courage to call in soon. Best to collect some funds up front. Set an irrevocable trust which could never be used in divorce. Remember, money today does not mean money tomorrow. Bad investments can happen. Oh, you're right. Right. Everybody should be listening to this. Let me read it again. I shall have the courage to call in soon. Best is to collect some funds up front. Well, Alti, next time I'm in London, best to collect some funds up front. Set an irrevocable trust which could never be used in divorce. Remember, money today does not mean money tomorrow. Bad investments can happen. I didn't even think about it like that. You're right, though. T says, I'm here. Boz ain't kinfolk. And that's why I told you, y'all didn't see the full reunion. Y'all don't know what went down. But okay. All right, let's move on. Wait, is this Janelle backstage with a new picture? Janelle?
Bonjour, Kempire.
Is this a new picture? Hold on, I got to see the picture. Okay, girl.
Thank you. It's my holiday photo.
Oh, what's going on, Janelle?
I was like, I gotta look good in front of these, the vanilla variety at this holiday party. I said it.
Oh.
I said, anyways, okay, I'm gonna say this for me and my work friend. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Bronwyn finally left that man. We were talking about it yesterday. We were like, when is she going to leave to Todd father? And my work friend was like, I don't know, but we're counting down the days. So I'm glad when I saw that news alert on Queens of Bravo, I was like, amen, amen, amen. Because, ma'am, you know what? Okay, this may be a little weird because I'm a little weird. But like when I see a couple together, sometimes I go like, like how are they behind closed doors? And if they're a cute couple, sometimes I wonder like, I bet you they be getting down. I could never imagine that with Bronwyn and Todd. Not once.
Not even the kissing and the farting?
Oh, I'm like, Mary, what's worse? I don't. What's worse? I can't do that. I mean, the fact that you even fart in front of your partner, no, that's
right?
Gross. Okay, but yes, I'm so happy for Bronwyn. And one last thing about Boz, she's a double Aquarius. She's an Aquarius sun and an Aquarius moon. And I have a former friend that never liked to show up at places alone. Always came through 5 deep or more. And was always trying to be in the room with people who had power, celebrity, money, or all the above. And then this friend did a real foul thing to me in front of a lot of people. And I said, I've had enough. So when you were talking, when you were talking about Boz, like can't go to a party by herself, I immediately thought of that friend who is also an Aquarius. I've only seen this with Aquarius women. I'm sorry, Aquarius women. I love y'all sometimes, but I've only seen it with Aquarius women. Only.
What did they do?
What my friend did?
You don't have to tell us if you don't want to, but if you do.
Oh, no, it's fine. I told the whole world. No, they embarrassed me in front of the Brooklyn Museum and yelled at me profusely over some ish that I did not do. And I had an acquaintance there, like a friend of a friend, and she even came over and like she don't know me like that. She's only met me like a handful of times because like she's really friends with my other friend. She even came over and was like, "Are you okay?" Because I was crying. I was crying my eyes out because I was embarrassed. Because I was like, one, I didn't do what you're accusing me of doing. And I'm a truth teller. I'm a Sagittarius. Also, it was my birthday on Sunday.
Happy belated birthday.
Thank you. So like I'm a truth teller, like, and I'll own up to when I mess up because like I feel like that's growth when I own up to my mess. So I was like, no, if I did something wrong, I would say it. And most likely knowing me, I'd probably be proud of it. Like, yeah, I did it. So the fact that she did that and accused me of things, I was like, when I tell you it was a bunch of people, I mean, it was like 100 people outside. Because it was at the end of the event.
Ooh. And everybody's so, like, looking.
Even security was staring at us.
Like
with their proverbial popcorn. Wow, she eviscerated me in front of everybody.
Wow.
I was crying so bad that the janitor in the train station was like, "Are you okay?"
Not the janitor in the train station, damn.
And I'm like, "Oh, it's bad. I'm stopping him from doing his job." But he looking at me like, "Oh my God, is she okay?"
Well, I'm sorry that happened to you.
Thank you. You know what? It happened a year ago. You know what?
A year
Therapy is
ago.
a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you could talk out your feelings, so that's why I could talk about it without crying, because I could tell you straight up. Anytime somebody asked me about it, like in the first month or two afterwards, oh, I would tear up. But now I'm
Mm.
good because I'm
Mm.
not friends with that person anymore, and they know why I'm not friends with them. Even
Wow.
though they like to ask our mutual friends, well, why isn't Janelle talking to me? What?
Wow. Was it a first Friday?
No, it was a special queer Caribbean event.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
All
And
right.
so like there was all and it was during Pride Month. And so so this friend was like, "Oh, do you want to come with me to this event?" And I actually was supposed to go to a friend's event who was DJing for the first time. And like this friend had asked me profusely, "Can you come? Can you come?" And so I had plans to go to that. It was in Brooklyn. And this other friend was like, "No, you need to cancel because I'm gonna get you in and blah 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 blah." And I was just like, okay, fine. Okay, fine. I will go to this event at Brooklyn Museum because it's Brooklyn Museum.
Yeah. Mm.
Well,
They said not during Pride.
yes, it was during Pride, and it was a bunch of black people. So black people, we be nosy,
Mm.
and so
Mm.
they were sticking around to see the mess.
Yeah, of course. All
So
right.
yeah, but you know what? I moved past it. But yeah, so when you talk about bows, I was like, why is it that I've only noticed this behavior with Aquarius women? With Aquarius women in the chat,
Oh, they gonna come
tell
for you,
me.
Janelle. They gonna come for you. All right, I
No,
gotta
please
go.
don't come for me. Okay, okay,
Talk to you
bye.
later. Bye. All right. Let me say thank you, guys. We're almost at 1,000 likes. Oh, Alti says, yes, afternoon tea at the Ritz on me. Of course, you're the one with the trust. That goes without saying. You're the one with the trust and the prenup, okay? Mrs. D Green, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, "Oh wow, I got a chance to participate in her workshop and met her. She was lovely and even welcomed me, sharing how I was a widow with a biracial child and our shared experiences in interracial dating." Look, I'm sure there are good stories to talk about Boz, but there are quite a few bad ones. But thank you for sharing, Mrs. D Green. I appreciate that. All right, let me get to the rest of these calls because I gotta go. Now it's about to be 5 o'clock. I've been live for almost 2 hours, even though we've done longer lives. But yeah, let me bring up Chanel's reality. Chanel, what's going on?
Hey, Mr. Kempire, you're looking good and moisturized. You
Thank
look very
you,
handsome.
butter.
Love the hat.
Thank you.
Yes, and your "Are you okay?" That is my phrase for the year. I swear to God.
Yes.
Ever since that Kenyoran guy lady said that, I've been saying, "Are you okay?" Okay, I have a lot that I want to say. I'm just gonna make statements though.
Okay.
I'm Team Candace. I hope she comes back. Team Nene. Hope she is successful in whatever she's doing. Kyle is always saying for years, we must talk about it, no matter what it is. And now she wants to say, I want to stand behind whatever brick wall and I shouldn't have to say anything because it's this other person. I agree with that, generally speaking, but when you demand for 10 years plus that people say whatever, then you got to shut the hell up and now you need to talk about it.
Mm.
I love Beverly Hills Housewives. I don't know what these people are talking about. I've always loved them. I don't know. I like the glitz and the glam. They always have a good what do you call it, travel event or whatever. They go to the
Mm.
good places. That's what I want to see. They spend the real money. That's what I want to see. I love to read too. I didn't like her when she was in the Fab Four stuff because I just felt like it was fake. But when she started showing up and cussing, well, not really cussing Kyle out, but calling Kyle out, I love it. Please, at some point, Kempire, I want you to tell me why Wendy thinks Giselle is her friend after the past 3 seasons she's had with Giselle. And then also, too, if you have an opportunity, why does Monique consider Ashley a friend? This is my last thing. When Ashley accused Monique of being, I think it was an alcoholic or driving
Driving
drunk.
under the influence.
How is that your bestie? I don't understand. Hey, Karen. That's it. That's all.
Oh,
The shade. I
thanks,
know.
Chanel's reality. I can't explain to you. Look, all I can say in regards to Wendy and Giselle's relationship, they both want to remain on the show, and that's why they're getting along. Ashley will turn on Monique. I mean, we literally see certain things during this season of Real Housewives of Potomac where Ashley basically is setting Monique up to be upset, and to me, that's not a real friend. So, but anyway, all right. Before we get on to new callers, if you didn't see on my TikTok or I didn't post it on YouTube, but Let's Sprinkle by Melissa Gorga. I would literally, because for those of you that I know I must have mentioned that I was going to order some cookies. So surprise to me, yesterday These came in the mail. I didn't order these. Melissa sent them to me. Okay. And as you can see, I've already had 2. There's 12 in here. Thank you to Melissa Gorga. It's the holiday season. This is not sponsored, but I already told you guys last year I bought my own. Then she ended up sending me some. Okay, you can see the cookies on the back, all the ingredients and stuff on the back. Go order you guys some cookies today. You can shop here. You can use the QR code. All right, use the QR code. Go ahead. There you go. I'll give you guys a moment. And if you're listening to this on the podcast, head on over to their website. What's the website? Let'sSprinkleByMG.com. Okay? All right, I had a cookie right before this too. All right. Let me move on to these last couple of callers. Right, Foxy? It was very sweet of her. I literally was going to order my own, and I'm glad I didn't because now I might still order some. All right, let me bring up Arjun. Arjun, what's going on? What did you want to share about all of this Bravo
Hello,
relatedness?
Kempire. Can you hear me?
Yes.
First of all, according to YouTube, I'm in your 0.1% view listeners. 658 videos I've watched. Number one.
Wow.
You're there. I know. I was surprised myself. But I'm gonna say one thing. If Nene or Fall, they need to bring Kim, Sheree, and Nene back. Them 3. I don't care. Producers, you need to bring them.
Okay.
Like I've been missing Sheree a lot.
Oh.
I've been watching back a lot of videos of Sheree. Yeah, Sheree is top tier housewife. I never realized that, but not now. Also, I don't want Nene to do traitors unless she puts in a contract that she's going to be till the end of the season.
Oh.
Like, yeah, she needs to put them in the contract that she's going to be. I don't really care if she wins or not because we know she's going to get the check. But she needs to be till the finale. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll come back to Potomac and Mountain Medicine on Monday.
Okay. All right, Arjun.
And also, E News, they need to give you a check because I never realized Kimura was that girl. I always saw Kimura as a friend of Kim K, but I watched all of the seasons. Yeah. I saw all of the seasons. I spent a whole week. You mentioned it, and I watched all of the seasons back.
You hear that, E? Run me my check. Thank you, Arjun.
I know that. That's right. Thank you.
Bye. Damn, he knew her as Kim Kardashian's friend? Oh, hell no. Kimura has been in these streets for years, okay? All right, let me get to these last couple of callers. We got Paulina backstage. Paulina, what did you want to share?
Hi, Kempire. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I also heard about Kimura only like from Kim Kardashian, so I think it's just some uneducated white people, you know, so sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. What did you want to share?
Anyway, I feel really bad for Shamea. I don't really like her, but I feel bad for her, so that's that on that. And then about Beverly Hills, Kyle is just, it's like people saying that, oh, Kyle finally said it, but she didn't. You know what I mean? She again like beat around the bush and she was just like really weird about it. So I don't know. I don't see it for Kyle. Kyle can go for all I care. She's not interesting. Whatever. You know what I mean? Like she and her, I mean, Mauricio's like out on the streets. I don't know. Anyway, Nene, honestly, I mean, I would love for her to come back to Atlanta because it's been, you know, going downhill a little bit. So, but I just feel like she might be like too big for the show. You know what I mean? Like she kind of outgrew it. And I feel like if she comes back, she just might, you know, give a lot of that vibe. I don't know, because we know that has happened already on the show when she was like being too big for her boots, but I don't know. So
that's true.
But yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Paulina. Take care.
Thanks. Bye.
You can tell I did not watch all of Keeping Up with the Kardashians because the Bear Claire, thank you so much for being a member, says Kimura went to the Usher concert with Kim on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. So that's why some of you guys know who Kimura Lee Simmons is. Wow. She been in this. She was on reality television before the Kardashians. Sunday Rose says, "How old are y'all? 12? Do y'all know what baby fat is?" You do have to be of a particular age, but I did recap the last couple of episodes of Kimura's new reality show, Back in the Fab Lane, but I also talked about Owning Manhattan earlier today. Be sure to check that out. It's a quick episode recap of some of the first 3 episodes of Owning Manhattan, and Kimura back in the Fab Lane. All right, let me bring up Peyton next. Peyton, what did you want to share?
Hi, Kempire. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I just wanted to make 2 quick points. The first one is about Nene, and I'm excited if she would come back, but I think, do you guys remember how awful? I mean, I know like the Greg situation, but she was not good the last couple seasons of Atlanta. I think her last good season was probably season 8, and that was when she was a friend. That was like with Kim Fields.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was when she was like bubbly, happy. But like even in season 10, when she came back, I didn't think she was that amazing. But I'm still happy to see her. She's Nene. And the last thing about Shamea, I feel bad for her. But when I looked in who it was, isn't that Lady Candy's friend? That
Yeah.
doctor she went to.
The doctor,
Yeah,
right?
I saw.
They follow
Yeah,
her. They follow the doctor.
Yeah. I went to her pin post and it
Picture with her and Candy and Shimmy and Riley. I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
yeah. But that's it.
That'll be interesting how they're going to navigate that. Okay.
I
Thanks, Peyton.
know. Thank you, Kempire.
Take care. All right. El My Bell's backstage. El My Bell, what did you want to share?
Hi, Kempire. I wasn't even going to call, but justice for the Aquariuses out here. I said we do not claim bows. Kenya is an Aquarius. Crystal Minkoff is an Aquarius.
yeah.
We have a lot of good people. We do not like to be in a lot of groups. We kind of hang back a lot of the time. We keep to ourselves. Yes, we are friendly, but I don't want that one experience with that one Aquarius to speak for us all. We love everybody in the zodiac. That's all I got to say.
And this is why I always say it's important for people to remember it's not just your sun sign. You have to know people's birth chart. It really does change one Aquarius from the next Aquarius.
Right.
She probably got some Pisces in her too.
Oh, Gemini.
Oh, shoot. All right, El My Bell, is that it?
That is it.
Thanks for calling in. Bye. Justice for the Aquarius. The Aquarius is one of my really closest friends is an Aquarius. So actually, a couple of close friends that are Aquarius. So I really don't see anything like that. But like I said, you need to know someone's full birth chart. Sorry, Pisces. Tish is backstage. Tish, what did you want to share?
Well, go on, Kempire. Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I wasn't gonna call in either, but then Tyler called in, and I was just like, I tried to tell y'all. So yeah, I just felt vindicated.
Yep.
Because people made it seem like I was making stuff up, and I'm like, no, her reputation speaks for herself. I haven't been watching this season. I meant it when I said I quit with Garcelle. So but I do see the tweets on the timeline, and I love that everyone's dragging her. Also, really quick, I am very proud of Bronwyn. I think she played the game incredibly smart. I feel like, of course, you're supposed to plot your exit. Like, I feel like anyone that does not leave strategically is not smart. She has build your empire. You sat in this marriage for so long. You've put up with so much abuse. You deserve to build wealth. You deserve to launch off into something greater. And if she used Salt Lake City to do that, then more props to her. I think every woman should leave strategically. Leaving and putting yourself in a bad situation, I just don't agree with it.
So you don't end up like Ashley Darby.
Exactly. Listen, that's when you and that's really when you put up with whatever, right?
Literally, she put up with whatever.
But that's my time. Thank you so much.
Thanks for calling in. All right, I had to switch my camera, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Woo. Sorry. All right, let me get to these our last caller. Chrissy is backstage. We're going to bring Chrissy up next. Chrissy, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you. So I just want to talk about Kyle. Kyle is just like, does she not realize we are in 2025 about to be in 2026? It is not a story that you like to get your taco eaten by women. Okay, half of RHOA eats tacos or likes to eat. Like, I'm tired of that storyline. She can go. If that's the only thing that makes you interesting, then you're not interesting. Okay, like I was just so sick of it. And then along with Boz, like now hearing these stories over and over and over again, I don't care if the actor does scam her, because I had called saying that I didn't want him to scam her, but if that happens, whatever, we don't care. And then I do want to also say with Kyle thought that, if she did what she did, Mauricio was gonna run behind her and chase her. Like, girl, do you not notice your husband, ex-husband, whatever he is fine as hell? Like he definitely was gonna have a lineup of
Waiting.
women coming his way. Like now he's living his best life in Greece, Ibiza, all over the world, kissing everybody. Like he's not checking for you, girl. That's all I had to say.
Wow. Damn. Thanks, Chrissy. Bye. Well, damn. Uh-oh. Priscilla says, Pisces unite. I'm activated. Sorry, Pisces. Nat, thank you so much for the super chat. Nat says, hi, Kemp. Happy holidays. It's not a competition, but you were my #1 watch on YouTube this year, and I was in the 0.1% of top viewers. Thank you. It's not a competition, but I was your #1, so booyah to all the other ones. No, thank you so much, Nat. And shout out to everyone that's been tagging me on Instagram and in all the places. I appreciate all of you that have watched this year. And shout out to YouTube for launching that. The other day I saw a video that there was a Black woman, I think she was like an intern over at Spotify, and she was the one who came up with the idea for Wrapped, and they ended up letting her go. And mind you, Wrapped has been such a huge thing for Spotify ever since they launched it. And now it's influenced so many of these other platforms to do sort of like their big wrap up at the end of the year. So just remember, a Black woman came up with this whole idea. Anyway, so congratulations to her, wherever she may be. All right. All right. Singer GST said Mo is slinging his you-know-what all over the world. I'm trying to understand why they haven't moved forward with a divorce. Because you're dating someone, he's dating everyone. So what's going on with the divorce? You're living separately. What's going on with the divorce? What else are you going to talk about this season, Kyle? Because at this particular point, it's episode 2, and you talked about being outside the closet. So, okay, we're good. We're done. Story wrapped up. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this special roundup of Bravo-related reality TV news. But if you're new here, we don't just talk about reality TV. We talk about everything in pop culture. So be sure to check out some of the things that you may have missed this week and subscribe to the Kempire podcast, where we talk about these things, but also more things, okay? So be sure to check that out. Head on over to the description for more details on our merch so you can get Are You Okay? Merch available right now in t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and we also have Kempire merch. We have tour merch for those that came to the tour over the summer. Even if you didn't, you can get tour merch and be a part of the tour. So thank you to everyone that has already been purchasing. Get you something. And if you want to know about my skincare, shout out to our friends over at Butter. They have a lot of holiday deals going on. You can use my discount code Kempire10 for 10% off. All right. More information on everything Kempire will be available in the description. Thank you to our King's Guards. Thank you to our channel members. Thank you to everyone that sent in super chats, Venmos, Cash Apps, all of that. We appreciate you guys so much. And of course, thank you to our subscribers and those of you watching in the bushes. We had over 2,000 people watching on multiple platforms. So thank you. Tish, thank you so much for the super chat. Oh, let me shimmy. Let me shimmy for the $20. Okay. I forgot to brag on my husband when I called in. He bought us a surprise floor seats for Brandy and Monica tonight. Yay me. We'll have a good time. These are the last couple of dates of the Brandy and Monica tour. Very successful tour. They had a few sold out dates as well. I got to see it in New York. I did a review of the show, so be sure to check that out. You can hear it on the podcast. You can also find it here on YouTube as well. So have a great time tonight, Tish. That's amazing. Yeah, you do got a good husband. That's a nice little surprise. Hell, represent yourself legal. Love it. Hey, Kiki, Coco Esquire, right? Y'all keep changing up your names. I can't keep up. Glad to hear Nene is coming back to the show. She is definitely the queen, but when she shows up acting like a queen and it's not good TV. Well, that part. That's why I feel like, if anything, if she comes back to Atlanta, come back as a friend of. But for now, do these one-offs. Do these little spin-offs. Do traders and things like that where you can just be fun. You know what I mean? So thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate your support as well. Again, guys, you can support just by liking today's video. If you're watching the replay of this replay crew, we haven't forgotten about you. I will try and get to the timestamps after I meditate. I'm gonna go meditate. I'm gonna try and stretch out the body because I did Pilates today. Pilates be kicking the body's butt too. You know, that's an intense workout. I do it 3 times a week. All right, I might start doing 4 times a week come next year. Just saying. All right. All right, y'all. I will see you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching. Keep liking the video. Bye, y'all. And happy holidays. It is the holidays. I got to do some shopping, right? Don't you? We got like 13 days? Yeah, 13 days till Christmas. All right. Ruth says, quoting me, he's dating everyone. You know, he is. I am.
Here we go now.